Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Today I want to talk about something a lot of us struggle with, and it's losing hope, feeling like we just want to throw in the towel, to give up. I did this many times, and guys, it just hindered my recovery process. It set me back. And I don't want you guys to fall into that rut. But if you are dealing with that, it's a natural part of the process too. But we want to try our best to keep our heads high, even whenever we're dealing with symptoms and panic attacks or not getting sleep. And that's very difficult. But guys, you know what time it is. Smash the like button down below if you're ready to kick anxiety in the butt today. So comment of the day, question of the day: how optimistic do you feel about your chances of recovery when it comes to anxiety? From a 1 to 10, 1 meaning you have zero hope, basically you can say 0. 10 being I'm very optimistic that I'm going to recover. And the reason that I ask that is because I want to see where a lot of my audience is, and I want you to look within yourself, because if you're anywhere from like a 6 and down, you just not having that confidence and belief can be one of the biggest reasons why you keep falling back. And guys, setbacks, I don't like the word setback, but I'll just use it for the sake of this video since a lot of people understand what I mean whenever I'm saying setback. Setbacks are a part of your recovery process. We are going to either mess up, or sometimes our subconscious is just going to get angry with you, and it's going to be stubborn and hard-headed, and it's going to give you symptoms even whenever you're trying to do the right thing, whether that you be doing exposure, or you trying to start a morning routine, or you're trying to be kind to yourself, you're practicing more self-love or gratitude, you're trying to be present, you're trying to do the right things. There's so many different things that, come with recovery. I can go on and on about that. But you're trying to do something right, and sometimes your subconscious does not care in that moment. You got to think about it like this. Our subconscious, guys, is at least like a month behind what we're doing right now. So if you're starting a morning routine right now, give your subconscious a month before you start giving up. You know what I mean? And don't even give up then, because sometimes it takes even longer to establish a habit. There's some studies that say it takes like 100 days to establish a habit. So we're talking about 3 months there. So we have to be patient with the process. We have to stick with it. And we have to do things even whenever we're having symptoms. And that's the hard part. And it makes us want to give up. Guys, whenever I tell you anxiety recovery was the hardest thing I've ever had to overcome, or to accomplish, I guess, if we're talking about recovery, I'm serious. It was relentless at times, especially the first 2 years whenever my panic disorder was out of control. I mean, I'm having panic attacks all throughout the day. And of course, I will say this: I wasn't doing a lot of things to help myself whenever I was dealing with panic disorder and stuff those first 2 years. I pretty much had no acceptance. Yes, I knew I had anxiety, right? But I also thought I had a heart problem. So as long as I didn't have any acceptance and I thought that there was something wrong with my health, I wasn't really actively working on my anxiety. I was afraid of exercise, so I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing things like meditation. I wasn't going to see a therapist. I wasn't reading books about anxiety. It was just constant reassurance and a lot of visits to the doctor, a lot of praying to God, without me putting any effort on my part. A lot of misery, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of job hopping, a lot of call-in days, just a lot of dread, a lot of sadness, the depression that comes with it. I wasn't chronic or clinically depressed, but I was in a state of, it was more like grieving. The symptoms made me feel depressed, I guess you could say. If you took the symptoms away, I wouldn't have any symptoms of depression. But that's what it was like every single day. Wake up in the morning, symptoms are there. Whenever you wake up first thing in the morning and your symptoms are already right there, or they wake you up and they're there nonstop, it's a very defeating feeling. And that's the hardest part about recovery, especially in the beginning, is getting our foot in the door to try to find some momentum. And when we're doing this, guys, we almost have to expect that even whenever we're doing everything right, the first few days at least, they're still going to be rough. And I think this is the same theme throughout all aspects of recovery. Whenever you first start a morning routine, your subconscious is not interested in that morning routine. It's actually angry with you for getting up earlier. Go back to sleep or stay in bed. Why are you getting up? Why are you doing meditation right now? What the heck is this? This is weird. Why are you writing in a journal? We don't journal. You know, if you're trying to do exposure, it's really going to get angry. And a lot of you guys think that you're doing exposure wrong because many of us want to recover 90% before we actually get in the car and start driving again, or go back to work, or go back to class or school, or get out of the house. Some of you have agoraphobia so bad that it's hard for you to get out of the house. We want to cure or fix 90% of our anxiety before we actually go out there and do that work. Nope. Nope. Morning routine and all that stuff and the things that you do at home can definitely take the edge off. Having the right mindset and calming the body can definitely help before you head out. But we have to expect that we're going to agitate the body and the mind and body whenever we go out and we get in the car if we haven't driven in 6 months. Okay, whenever we push it, that's the whole point. We need to desensitize by agitating these things and bringing the symptoms out and showing a brave face and showing a brave response. It's okay to be scared. We just want to focus on showing courage and being brave in these moments. Be brave whenever you're in the car. Be courageous whenever you're going back to work. Say the right things, even if there is some fear. Your subconscious will forgive the fear as long as you are giving fearless responses, right? And saying the right stuff. And given the context of safety, right? Or responding with self-love, or responding with gratitude, or responding with positive affirmations, and explain to your subconscious why these symptoms aren't needed, even though these symptoms suck. We know that. Who wants anxiety symptoms, right? But, you know, it's difficult to get into a habit of doing exposure and embracing being uncomfortable. And there's so many different ways to expose. It depends on what triggers you, right? And I'm talking about healthy things. I'm not talking about bad things. I'm not trying to, you don't need to do exposure to crystal meth or anything like that. That's not what I mean. It's things like going back to work, driving. I will say this, maybe even having like a cup of coffee or something like that, you know, eventually. Maybe eventually having a hamburger and french fries or something, you know, once a week for a cheat meal. Even that could be a little bit of exposure. We want to be able to live too. I don't want you guys to, you know, never be able to have a pleasure or two, right? But exposure can feel defeating whenever we're going out there and we're trying to change and make a difference in our lives and desensitize, and we're smacked in the face with these symptoms. But that's to be expected. We just have to stick with it. Guys, patience and consistency is one of the biggest things whenever it comes to recovery. And the good news about it, if you stick with it, it compounds. You know, it's a snowball going down the hill. And guys, we know it can go on either side of that hill, right? It can go bad for us, right? We can have a bad day and it can, you know, spiral out of control. Now we have all these different symptoms. We've sensitized all over again, or to a new extreme level. And now we're not getting any sleep, and now we're not driving anymore. We're not doing our exposure, and it just can keep getting worse. And we have to stop that snowball. And then that's the hard part, is getting out of that rut, getting out of a bad cycle, push it back to the top of the hill, you know, and then try to get it to go back down the other way, right? And get the momentum to go the other way. But it's basically compound interest on either side, negative or positive, right? And that's the great thing. If you stick with it for a month or two, whether it be your routine or exposure, hopefully both, or maybe it's journaling or affirmations or mindfulness or practicing calming the body, or, you know, giving a good response to your subconscious whenever you do have symptoms. Guys, I'm telling you, it'll get better pretty quickly after you do this for a couple months. I'm not going to give you like it's going to be 2 weeks or a month or 3. It's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. But what I've said on this channel many times, I'm going to say it again today, you need to think in terms of months instead of days or weeks, right? But guys, you have to be able to believe, and I kind of want to end it with this, you have to believe that you're going to get out of this for it to actually be possible. If you don't believe in it and you don't think you're going to get out of it, then you're not going to. That's how important it is to believe. You have to change your belief system to have a chance to get out of this. You have to believe in tools for them to work. If you don't believe in mindfulness or calming the body, it's not going to work for you. If you don't believe in exercise, it's not going to work for you, or you're not going to get the maximum benefit out of it. If you don't believe in going out and embracing being uncomfortable and doing exposure, it's not going to work for you. You have to believe for it to be possible. So if you're losing hope, change your belief system today. It's only possible if you believe that it's going to happen. So if you made it this far, go down below in the comment section, and I want you to put in all caps, I believe. I believe. If you want more help with your anxiety recovery process, guys, check out my course, Elite Anxiety Bootcamp, down below in the description and in the first pinned comment. It's helping a lot of people. If you're wanting that extra push, if you're wanting a step-by-step process, if you're wanting my blueprint on how I overcame the various anxiety disorders, check that out. My coaching information is down below. If you ever want to donate to the channel, that's much appreciated. It helps support the channel, and I can continue to make videos like this. I'm try to get back to a daily basis, guys. There's options for that. Yeah, and there's other social media and stuff down below. Like this video if you got value, guys. I love you all, and until next time, keep fighting.